We are live. Back to game. Here we go. Get back out of third person. Alright. So last time we worked some on preparing this area to be the site of our future home. And I think it is time to make that the site of our future home. And to actually start building said future home. What do we have going on over here? We got bricks working there. That's fine. So I think one of the things we will do really quick... Put away these ebony seeds. I don't need those per se. Put this down here in our seed storage. And then we'll start working on our home. We're going to finish leveling that terrain out, you know, and all that. There we go. Alright, so seed storage. Yeah, I'm just going to throw this ebony seed in here really briefly. I'm also going to check this thing, see how this thing's doing here. It's doing alright. I will take this oak seed here. Actually, I'll take that seashell as well. Those. And I'll even take this copper with me back upstairs. There we go. I'm going to take all that back upstairs with me real quick. Because we're going to work on getting rid of some of this extra stuff that we don't need. As we get ready to start building. I also think we're going to move most of the farm down to the bottom floor of this, down to the mantle. It's just warmer down there, more consistent. You know, I think we'll do better off growing certain things down there. And the other thing is we're going to convert this room itself into a cellar. Going to be kind of the final thing here. Snow is really a problem in winter. Alright, so let's head over this way. First things first. Let's throw this stuff into the quern here. So we're just going to grind all this into lime. Because I need some, you know... Didn't mean to put that down. My offhand there. I don't even... What am I doing? Good lord. I don't even need my torch out. Or my lantern out. It's not... You know... dark enough for that yet, although it is evening in the game. Around 4 p.m., which it starts getting pretty dark pretty quick in this game. There we go. We are streaming a little early this evening compared to my normal evenings. That's because I got to go to bed early tonight. Got a long trip in the morning that I got to go. Part of the reason I'm not streaming tomorrow. But don't worry, I've got a video already scheduled to come out around noon my time for everybody. And I just want to thank everybody who's joining me in this stream tonight and hanging out and all that. I hope everybody's had a good day. There we go. And some more lime. There. Alright. Got some lime. Nice. Alright. Throw our copper in there. And then, let's see here. Do I have a hammer? Okay, I do have a hammer. I was like, wait a minute. Where'd my hammer go? I still have one. Alright. I am out of ingots, though. So actually, I think one of the things I'll do real quick is make myself a couple ingots. There we go. Throw that in there. Grab, what, like 3 charcoal. Get that done. Go. There we go. Beautiful. Grab the tongs really quick. And that's mostly because I'm going to need more nails soon. For part of what I want to do. Because I want to make some more storage chests and slowly but surely move away from using these wicker baskets. Just a personal preference. You know, the swords just have a lot more inventory space. That's here. I'm also going to need another shovel. Didn't I make a shovel? Thought I did. Guess not. Let's check. How's this doing? It's up to smelting temperature now. I might not need all 3 pieces of charcoal. It's going to be tight. I think it will. That's the other thing I'm going to have to do is build a better charcoal pit at some point. I've got a design I've started using in a lot of my playthroughs that I really like. And, you know, it uses a iron door, or a kiln door, I should say, and an iron trapdoor, basically. To basically make it so you don't have to, like, dig the dirt out and stuff. It's very nice. Alright, there we go. Just about got our copper ready. I like to make my nails out of copper for most situations in this game. There's some where you have to make them out of harder materials, like if you want to make the wooden cage trap thing that they make, the crate trap, you have to have copper, or you have to have harder than copper nails for that specifically. And I think 1 or 2 other situations. Alright, there we go. There's that. Yeah, no, I don't have a shovel right now. Well, that's easy enough to solve. So we'll make a shovel here. And then I'm going to go out and start working on that terrain some more. There we go. Shovel. Alright. Good. Put this in my offhand here. Just so we've got some light. And my general thought process is this is going to be mostly, you know, made out of, like, stone and stuff. Alright, goblin. Orc, sorry. That orc was coming after me. Alright. Well, got a rusty gear for it. Alright, let me get back to my digging there, orc. Alright, then I think what we'll do is we'll go back just here. There we go. Nice. Alright. And then we'll go ahead and knock these 2 blocks off here as well. I think we'll cut in here. There we go. We're just doing the outline right now. There we go. Beautiful. So this area here is going to be where I'm going to build my house, kind of start my town / village. And then we're going to convert that into like this communal cellar for the town. And underground access, you know. And then in between the two, we'll have like the workshop and some other stuff. Obviously, we'll have to change our layout a little bit over time, but it's all right. And then we're going to surround all this with wooden fortifications, which is a mod I have, not a base game thing here. Just hop back over here real quick. Actually, before I do that, I wanted to fill this in here and just level this out. There we go. Just wanted to get that level, make my life a little easier there. All right, oh, these looking good. This is looking good. Now it's getting kind of late in the evening, so let's go ahead and head inside here. There we go. And I'm gonna go eat my stew real quick. Somewhere around here. I've got my rusty gears. There they are. Goes away for now. Got lots of barren soil, which we can use for building or even farming. We get into long-term stuff. That in there. Got some more barren soil there. Alright, and there's what we're going to build the base of our house out of. We're going to build it out of that granite. But okay, let's head downstairs real quick and just see what's going on down here. We are going to spend a lot of time underground here in the mines, but that's okay. Eventually what I'll do is I'll put like torches and stuff in here, and we'll clean this up, make it look a lot nicer. Our underground mines. Let's see here. Very good. These are growing well. These are growing well. Cranberries aren't. That's alright. They'll do fine when it warms up a bit. Let me do it in here. Let's get rid of these seeds out of here. And we'll keep the redwood seeds and the kapok. The other farm seeds. We'll take the arrowheads and the bracelets there. Alright. Now, I kind of need to keep fishing for the right kind of seeds. Oh, right. That's something else I need to make real quick. Now, what was that recipe? Hold on. It always freaks out a little bit when I do this. Okay, let's see here. Where is... There it is. Oh, it requires nails. Oh, I'm glad I got some stuff together to make nails. Because we're going to make a composter. I don't really have the extra food right now for this, but it's going to be very important later on. Because we're going to use that to make rot, to make better farmland in the long run here. Let me actually grab... Well, let me go get rid of these seeds first. We're going to go toss these in the lake. It's kind of my disposal areas. I throw them in the lake. Mostly because I don't have storage for all these flower seeds. In the future, you know, these flower seeds will have value. And in that, I'll plant them underground and down at the bottom layers. We'll set up like a bee farm down there. But we're not there yet. Might even set up one of those nice, like, fancy Langstrom hives. Am I even getting volume from the game? Let me check. Let me check. No, it is. It's just very quiet game-wise. Alright. I can close that up for now. Drifters can technically come out of that. There we go. Want that fish. Nice. Alright. Fish acquired. It's a little more food for us. And we'll harvest them on up. And put the meat in the storage. And there we go. We got 3 fish. Nice. So I think we could even make a couple more really good stews with this. Yeah, we could. No, this is done nice. All right. So let's do that. There we go. And now Let's see here. How much cattail I got? Not enough, really. Oh, but we got some vines. Vines are good. There we go. Need a rope. And then if we open up our inventory here, we can take this plus the bear pelt. And then like a rope and a bone. Where's it down here? Hold on. Oh, it's bone. Oh, no, this uses the medium pelts. Never mind, it doesn't use the bear pelt. Well, shoot. I could have repaired this a lot sooner. And I realized that. I thought it needed the bear pelt for some reason. Throw that back on. Do I have any medium pelts lying right here? Let's see here. I got this. What's this do? Oh, that becomes medium pelts. Perfect. Here we go. So that plus this. 3 medium pelts. Beautiful. So now we can repair this. So this. It's medium pelt. Rope. Actually, we'll do the chest piece first. Medium pelt, rope, and a bone. I got it backwards. That's why. Oh, these aren't pelts yet. Good lord. So you're just looking at this and going, why is this still not working? Yeah, it's because I haven't cured those yet. Oh, man. I am struggling today with this, aren't I? Alright. Let's see here. It's going to take me 2 pieces of fat. Yep. Not super efficient. There we go. Alright. We'll wait. And, you know, probably sometime tomorrow that'll be ready to go. But in the meantime, let's make ourselves some food. Find somewhere to stuff this bear pelt for now. There we go. And food-wise, let's see here. Can I do stew with meat in it? No. Okay, so it has to be meat-based. Or it has to be soup. I could do a soup. But I'd rather not. So let's do that. And there we go. Alright, and then let's grab some fuel. Just because we're going to need some food anyways. We can always do some more hunting, get some more meat. There we go. Get that all cooked up. And throw these in here. Those in there. And we got some more barren soil there. We'll take that. That in there. Just keep the seeds kind of together. And then, somewhere around here, I have flint arrowheads somewhere. There they are. Alright. And then somewhere else I have my lime. There it is, I think. Saltpeter, lime. Perfect. Lime. And then we'll just put the quick lime in the mortar in here because I don't need that right this second. So the whole reason I made mortar is so I can put an actual chimney in this place until I can build an actual house. And then we'll put a chimney in that. And then I figure we'll, you know, do it up nice and all that. It'll be good. It'll be very good. How are we looking? It's going to take a little bit longer to cook. Might need a little extra wood, but we'll go ahead and put our character to bed. Sleep through the night. Oh, and weirdly that means the fire won't go out and the food won't finish. Funny enough. Alright. Yep. Drifters are out and about today. Alright, looks like it won't require everything. So let's here. I'm going to put these down here. Get that in there. Put that in there for now. Those in there. There we go. That actually worked out. Got our inventory mostly cleared of stuff I don't want out and about. Let's see here. How is the rift activity? It's high. Okay, well. You have to deal with a lot of drifters today. That's okay. Alright. We're almost done with this stew. Come on, stew. Come on. Stay hot enough, long enough. There we go. Perfect. Alright. Put that down. Get our bowl out. Have a little bowl of stew for breakfast. There we go. And that tops us off perfectly. Keep forgetting about the snow. I'm gonna have to put like a little, you know, roof tile over the top of this thing. How much longer this got? Alright, 36 minutes, so that'll be done soon. That's a boathorn. Bad boathorn. Where's he at? Where's that boathorn at? There he is. Ow, that one got me. Dang it. I thought I was just far enough back that it was going to hit the hill. There we go. Okay. Clear out this drifter as well. And that's partially because we do get combat XP for dealing with these things. Alright. Same reason I hunt the goblins and stuff. No loot off of them, though. No loot. Alright. Well, let's get these nails made. So we're going to make one nail, and we're going to save this other ingot for future use. Get our tongs out. Grab one piece of charcoal. There we go. Because I'm going to get some more planks made as well. So I think we're going to make some storage chests. We're going to make that composter I need. And then, yeah. Let's see here. What do we got in here? Barrel. Okay. Get some prepared hides. Weak tannin. Alright. Do I still have my oak? Where's my oak? Oak? Where you at? There's my oak. 2. I'm going to go make some strong tannin. So that I can actually take those prepared hides and make my first bit of leather. It's going to be crazy. Crazy good. There we go. Super excited about that. Alright. Are you hot enough to make nails yet? Nails. Yes. There we go. I'm still using the Napster mod. It's just a handy little mod. I'm actually using it on my community server now, simply because with the butchering mod that we're using on the community server, it's just really handy being able to flint nap a bunch of stuff really quickly. I don't have enough space in here for this. All right, we'll keep the splitter plugs with us. I'm going to make 2 more sets of splitter plugs here. Because I want 2 more sets of splitter plugs. I think 2 ought to be enough to do this. There we go. Alright. Perfect. There's that. Now, let's go ahead and get our composter. It was 2, 4. And then we needed, was it like 4 sticks or something in each corner? Maybe it's just 1 stick. There we go. And then, like, a nail. That was just 1 stick. Okay, that's fine. That's even better. Alright, there's our composter. Done. Now I just need some more lumber, and I can make some storage chests, or some more storage chests. Alright. Yeah, I might need another piece of charcoal. Smelting temperature on this, it's a little higher than I remember. Okay, there it goes. Once it got up to temp, it's going pretty fast because it is only 20 pieces. Alright, good to know. Good to know. Also, feel free to chat, folks, if you're watching the stream. I am watching my chat. So, if y'all got opinions on how I should build my house, I'm probably going to do it mostly out of cobblestone myself, just because I readily have resources for cobblestone. Alright. There we go. Here's our next set of splitter plugs. And we'll just put this away. I'm actually going to grab these here, and we're going to go do a little bit of tree cutting, because I need some more lumber. But yeah, I'm thinking the foundation is going to be granite cobblestone. And then maybe support pillars as well, like the other corners. Now we're going to keep an eye out here. Alright. Gonna use these to cut the leaves here, just to get us more seeds, more sticks. And I might just keep using these wicker baskets for now, just out of convenience. Alright, let's cut this down, because I can always mass produce the wicker baskets with the number of large trees around. There's one thing about the set of like mods and stuff I'm using to make it so there's like some trees and things. And I've got a few seeds. Good. I always like to replace my trees when I cut them down. Although none of my trees are actually growing even after I plant them. Kind of annoying. That's how cold it is out, just to give you an idea. Can I do anything with these aspen trees? See if this aspen log has any use. I'm curious. No, not really. Okay. Oh, we'll just use it for some firewood. Let's see here. Yeah, that's a good size larch. Ah, the joys of having shears. Make life so much easier when you're cutting trees to get like seeds and such. Just flint down there. Okay. There we go. Oh, we've actually run out of space in our inventory. Alright, well, that's an easy problem to fix. Because we can quite literally just make one of these. Drop these real quick. Throw that down. Pick those back up. Go. Can finish picking all this up. And you just throw like the sticks and the dirt and other stuff in there that we don't necessarily need in our inventory. Oh, we got an aspen seed. There we go. Nice. I was curious if we were going to get one. And we did. Alright. Alright. Get our logs here. We get lots of large seeds here. Go ahead and knock this one down too. Because sticks and these branches and all that, they're just handy to have, so we'll go ahead and clean them up. And get ourselves a bit of extra wood. Alright, there we go. Good enough. Alright, knock this tree down. There we go. Alright, let's see what we can throw in here. There's some more of these larch canes in here. And yeah, that'll be good for now. And then what we can do, pick that up, put it on our back. Beautiful. And you can just carry all that home. And we also have an extra box now for storage, which I'll probably go put down on our tree farm. Get my sword out just in case I need it. Because you are near an area where a lot of unfriendly things like to spawn. Those orcs like to come from this direction. Go. Yep, see, got another temporal rift right over there. Alright, let's hop over the fence here real quick. We'll come inside here. Oops. Yeah, no, there's my saw. Good. Alright, so let's grab this. And we'll just put it right there for now. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. There we go. Not that I need anything out of it right this second. Somewhere around here. There's my things. And there's actually enough for another rope. Look at that. Beautiful. How are these coming? 30%. Okay. Well, let's grab my saw. Let's make some more boards here. We'll just do that little 4-stack right there. That'll be enough for now. And there we go. I'm just going to literally turn all 3 of these nails into more chests. Then we're going to make 1 double chest because we can. Alright, let's head downstairs real quick. We're going to go all the way down to the bottom this time, since I'm going to be moving the farm down there. Eventually. Mostly because at night it gets too cold right down here on this level. It still gets below freezing. As you can see, we're right at that cusp right now. We're right at 32.2, which is a little cold for some of our spelt and stuff. Yep, it's too cold for these cranberry bushes and whatnot, too. That's why we're going to go down here. Come on, down. There we go. Down. All the way down to the bottom. Layer 0 here. See where it's 37 up here, or down here, which is not too bad. See, like, these cranberry bushes are fine. This horsetail's fine. Blueberry's fine. This oak tree, it says, will mature in about 8 days, which is good. Same with these dwarf pine cuttings are good. These juniper cuttings are good. I love these juniper berries because they grow into a, you can use them to make food that heals you. It's very nice. Talking about that, gonna top off my food bar real quick. Yep, that was the end of it. But I wanted to put down here. And I'll put this double chest down here for now. That's gonna be like our seed chest. In fact, I'll go ahead and put my larch seeds in there, and my aspen seeds, because it's actually too cold for me to grow these larch seeds out on the surface. I've tried. I just will not grow. It's so cold. And that's a slight problem. And then I'll actually put this composter down here too. There we go. And basically this composter will instantly spoil food for the most part. Alright. And then for my other storage chest, I'm going to put that upstairs. Just have a little more storage in the temporary house. It has outlived its time frame that I wanted to use it for. There we go. And once I make one more splitter plug, we'll actually start working on clearing out that area down there more, where I'm growing the trees. Here we are. Alright. Let's see here. We'll just put this on the wall. There we go. And we'll throw our lumber in there for now. There we go. Beautiful. Check our fish trap. Oh, look at that. All these fish coming in right now. Perfect. Game apparently really wants us to have, like, fish stew today. Which I'm not going to complain about. There we go. Get those splitter plugs are done. And actually, let me go ahead and get the next ones going, too. There we go. Beautiful. Get the tongs here. Nice. That didn't light. Come on. There it goes. Alright, well, that ignites there. Gets going. There we go. I'll go put this meat away. Put that in here. There we go. Nice. Now we can actually make a nice fish stew when it's time. Go ahead and top off our food meter real quick. Keep ourselves nice and full. Yeah, I'm very sad. My original dwarf pines died over there. I'll show y'all. Like, these sea berries survived, but these dwarf pines, they did not. It's a sad day. A very sad day, my dwarf pines. That's mostly because they've been a fantastic food source, and I've been trying to propagate more of them. Oh, good. The rift activity calmed down nicely. We're gonna have to make some more fishing lures at some point and finish out the rest of this fishing trot line there. Some lures. Oh, good. It's finished. Alright, come here. Come here. Give me that. There we go. Nice. And once those finish, we'll actually have a full set of these splitter plugs, which will be great. That'll make it easier to mine out large chunks of stone. Alright. So that's done. Well, actually, we still need to finish leveling out our terrain over here. So we're going to have to finish cutting all this out. Character's getting cold. That's the other thing about this settings in these world. Character gets cold very quickly. You are. Just gonna have to do a lot of mining to flatten this out here real quick, but that's alright. Keep seeing my character's hand popping in from the side there, and I was like, wait, what's sneaking up on me? Didn't mean to mind that with my pick, but that's alright. But thankfully, unlike in Minecraft, it's not like every time you hit a block with a tool that you lose durability. It's only when the block actually breaks. Which has its advantages. Put that in my offhand there. go. Yes, my evening is going well, Mysterious K. How are you doing today? And welcome back to the stream and chat. It is evening for me, that is correct. But how are you doing? You having a good day today? There we go. Alright. Nice. I'm working on leveling out the area where I'm going to build my character's actual house, and we're going to move out of the dirt hut here. At least that's the goal. Right now he's getting a little cold, so I'm going to go inside and warm up. Geez, feel ticklish. Not asthmatic, no. But I have had coughs that bad, yeah. So, like, I know what you're talking about. For me, it's actually sneezes. I have sneezes that will do that to me sometimes. Because I get really bad sinus infections and stuff. So, sometimes I'll feel the effects of such things in my teeth. Thankfully, I don't have my father's problem, though. So, when he was in middle school, or in high school, they took him to the dentist because there's a genetic trait in my family that can happen, and it usually skips a generation or two. And so far, my son has not shown any signs of it, thankfully, but because I don't want to deal with those dental bills. But we can end up with 6 canine teeth instead of 4 canine teeth. Particularly, we end up with an extra set on the top of the mouth. And the problem is the roots of them also tend to be incredibly long, and so they had to have an oral surgeon remove his extra ones because the roots went all the way up into the sinuses. And so I assume that is partially why I have such a problem, because I've never actually had it checked to see how far the roots go up on my canine teeth, but I can tell they can go pretty high. In case you wanted a weird bit of, like, random dental information. Semi-related to what you're asking about. Alright. What time is it in game? Yeah, it's a little early to put my character to bed. So I think I'll make another shovel real quick. I mean, my father definitely took full advantage of those allegations when he was that age. Because the teeth were also extra long, so he could actually hang them out over his lower lip if he did it right. So yeah, no, those allegations were rampant about my dad. I mean, not dissimilar, yeah. But he said it was interesting because he could, like, do things like sink those into an apple and leave just the canine marks of the apple. Personally, if it had been my option, and I had that, I would have kept them or found somebody to make the mouth accept those extra teeth and just kept them. But it was causing problems, and so they pulled them, and then he had to have braces and stuff. It was a whole mess when he was a kid. And the dentist they took him to, that was the quote-unquote family dentist in the town we live in, was an old army dentist that didn't believe in anesthesia. So I'm glad I did not have that dentist. Yeah, no. My dad was shocked the first time that dentist ever gave him anesthesia was when he was in college and had to go get his wisdom teeth pulled. And he walked in there and got his wisdom teeth pulled. And to give you an idea of how quick it was, he was in and out and paying the receptionist at the desk within 10 minutes to get his wisdom teeth pulled. Because that dentist didn't take no time, but my dad was shocked because that was the first time that dentist ever gave him a shot of Novocaine. And he was like, what are you using Novocaine for? And the dentist said, well, after 40 years practicing dentistry, I finally figured out that if you give the patients a little bit of Novocaine, they don't squirm as much when you're trying to pull teeth. My dad was just like, took you 40 years of being a dentist to figure that out. He thankfully retired pretty shortly after that. Like, you know. Yeah, so there you go. Weird dental stories. Since you're asking about teeth and doing stuff. My dad didn't know. I unfortunately did when it came time to have my wisdom teeth out. Not all of them, just one of them was that bad. The first three came out just fine, but my fourth one, the dentist described as the roots of the tooth were kind of wrapped around the jaw a bit, so he had to like break that one into 4 pieces and then pull out the pieces. So let me tell you, that's a weird experience being awake for. When it's like fully numb, you're sort of awake for it. You can feel this weird pressure in your mouth when it happens, but it doesn't like hurt. It's just like, man, that feels like that should be bad. It's like, but it isn't, you know. The whole thing. But yeah, no, thankfully it didn't have to like crush them all. Unfortunately, my wife's experience with wisdom teeth removal was apparently a lot worse than me and my father's. For levels of worths, I guess. Like, she actually got to get put to sleep for her wisdom teeth being pulled out. I did not. There we go. I think I got... Alright, so we got this all kind of leveled out now. There we go. I have to warm my character up again, though. What's this? Are these cold? Yeah, these are cold. Excellent. There you go. Finally done with those, so I can put that away. I don't need this mold anymore. Alright. Let's just burn this here. I don't need these. There we go. And we'll light her up. I'm burning my extra, basically, canes off a tree. These are basically just really thin branches that you can weave with, making like these wicker baskets and stuff. I'm just burning them because I don't need that many of them. It's kind of a cheap fuel source here. There we go. Need to save the oak. It's all fine. There we go. Now it's actually late enough in the game to put my character to bed. But what about you, Mysterious K? You had a good day? You have any weird experiences with teeth? I mean, obviously you've got your weird, like, coughing making your teeth tingle thing. Which, again, I can sort of relate to for my sinus problems. Alright, let's see here. Where is my... Yep, there it is. That's what I wanted, right there. I didn't realize how much of this barren soil I picked up. Yeah, I think I'll wait on that part. I'm gonna go put this in first, I think. Let me grab Yeah, we're going to grab some of this here. Do this. There we go. Make some steps. Because I think some steps would be good. Because that way I can do things like put a set of stairs here. And put a set of stairs here. There we go. Gonna need one more set. I think. There we go. Cool. Cool. Alright. Now, let's see here. So I want kind of a straight shot. So I'm going to put a door there eventually. So we're going to come back just a little bit here, say right about here. That's going to be my front door, I think. Put in some stairs, so we can step up onto it. 3, 2, 3. And we'll go a little bit bigger. There we go. Give me what? 1, 2, 3, 4 on the inside. Give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the inside. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Perfect. So that's a nice odd number there. All right. Got the basic shape, I think, that I want for my home. There we go. All right, throw that in there. Do another set of 8. I don't have the clay on me, but yeah, it's all right. We'll go get some more. All right. Let's go grab a bit more clay. Actually, what I can do right here is just make that a little easier. Beautiful. All right. Head downstairs real quick. Check on everything down here. Now, I'm not going to have a super long stream tonight. Serious K. Probably only going to stream for another hour and a half. Mostly because I got to get up early tomorrow. I got to get up at like 4 a.m. my time. Definitely heard something. Thought I heard like boat horn or something here. Alright, let's see here. What do we got in here? Nothing right now? Okay. That in the offhand. We're going to crush this up a little bit. Get some more gravel. Ah, got someone who joined over on Twitch too. Apparently it comes with the nerves and jaw near your front bottom teeth. Works like a nerve dead end, and since it's in close to the brain stem, as the diaphragm, when you cough hard enough. Huh. I didn't know that, Mysterious K. That's an interesting fact about the nerves in your jaw. And welcome, Kinzilla, who joined over on Twitch. I am streaming to Twitch and YouTube for people who are not aware. And right now I'm making some more gravel to do a bit of panning. There we go. Oh, that broke. That's fine. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to grab a stack of gravel here, and we're just going to throw it in here, because that'll get me some more clay. That processes. There we go. Man, everything's stunted, except the carrots. The carrots are happy. Everything else is not. Sad day about these cabbages. These cattails just aren't growing either. I wonder if it's too short in here for them to grow. I don't know. I don't know. Might not be warm enough either. Alright. Let's go check my tree, see how it's doing. This is my super secret underground oak tree farm. Got about 7 days left. Checking the rest of my stuff. Who was it in Roman times that wrote about his cabbages? Oh! Yeah, I remember something about that. I'm trying to remember which guy that was. I don't remember, actually, which one that wrote about his cabbages. But yeah, I definitely remember one of them did write about his cabbages. There's also the guy who wasn't during Roman time, it was during the I think it was the Byzantine Empire, where some guy wrote took the time to write out in one of those clay tablets a long complaint about copper ore that someone sent him as well. People write about weird stuff over the years. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Henry David Thoreau, who wrote Walden's Pond. Emperor Ductilian. Okay. I didn't remember the name. But yeah, like some of those Roman emperors had some weird obsessions. But then, to be fair, you know, if I can't say too much with some of the weird stuff I get rabbit holed in and obsessed with at times. Like right now, I'm trying to convince my wife to let me grow a species of spinach called mountain spinach. I have no need to grow spinach in real life, but I think it would be interesting, you know. Yeah, I know that isn't that fascinating things people write about. Alright, so let's see here. Let's go get some more clay real quick. I've gotten mildly sidetracked from what I was doing. Yeah. So we're going to take that, and we'll just take another half stack here. I should grow some basil. That would be good to grow some basil. Or basil, depending on how you wish to pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Depending on if you're from England or the United States, basically. But because I tend to get kind of obsessed with like historical foods and stuff, it's the type of, well, it's not technically spinach. It is called a spinach, but it is basically what the medieval ages used for spinach, or in place of spinach and greens and such. Did it last year, then froze the extra pesto. You see, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. See, now, weirdly, my wife would probably actually get behind that. She likes pesto. So she'd probably get on board with that. Alright, we're getting ready to need planks here. Let's grab our planks. Our saw. We're going to make a whole bunch of planks. There we go. Now, I was very excited because last year I found a species of what's the term I'm looking for? Raspberry that would grow in my area. Raspberries don't normally grow where I live. And I was very excited about this. And we got them planted, and they were actually going pretty well. Until my yard guy killed them. I was very sad. My yard guy at the time, who was a cousin of mine, ran them over with his lawnmower when he was mowing my yard. And then he could not find the species again, because apparently the place that had it ran out of stock and didn't order more at the time. It was very sad. You need to make a bunch of soup bases and freeze them. I haven't done the thing where you buy a bunch of garlic and make a bunch of stuff and freeze in a jar for a while. Yeah, see, that's another good thing to do. Weirdly, right now, I'm also trying to convince my wife to let me get a food dehydrator so that I can make pemmican, just because I want to try making pemmican. Go. Alright, so let me cut this one out, actually. And that one out. So then what I'll do... There. 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 Alright, I'm going to go here, here, and here. And we're going to kind of copy the pattern here. Skip to... Ah, man. Yeah, I get it. Being a renter does have that disadvantage if you can't really customize your house too much, unfortunately. But no, I'd love to have a greenhouse myself as well. I agree. There's been a kit for a greenhouse I've been looking at that they sell at Costco, and I keep wanting to get one just because, you know, I would love to have a greenhouse. But then my wife's just like, we don't need to spend the money, and it's just like, okay. And she's not wrong. It's like I can't really argue with her like about it. I feel like that's rotated the wrong way. It is rotated the wrong way. Alright, let me go get my wrench. I gotta fix that. That's gonna drive me nuts if I don't fix that. And I'm leaving the gaps on purpose for people who are curious. Yeah, Costco's great. They got a lot of randomly good, like, just deals on stuff. Like, it's surprising the amount of stuff you can find there is just, you know, great. Why did I make this wrench? I don't even remember why. No, I found this wrench. I was like, I don't remember making this wrench. That's because I didn't. There we go. All right. There we go. Now it matches. All right. I had to keep the pattern going. Like, I was reading something. Apparently, you know, Costco is aware of, like, some of the housing price problems in certain places. Like, over in, what is that trying to come get me? There's a thing here. Oh, it's an orc. He was confused by the snow. That's hilarious. Orc. Come on. Come on, orc. There you go. He dropped a couple things. He dropped a spear, some meat, and a gear. Nice. Alright. Let me get back in here. Put the meat away. Put the gear away. And then, let's grab some more granite. There you go. That's what I think I'm going to do. Right, I only need one. Hold on. I'm going to make an extra set of stairs. There we go. So I saw something I want to fix here. So first things first, we're going to do this, just to make that easier. And we're going to do this, just to make that easier. Oh, that's a bowthorn. Where's he at? Okay. There he is. Saw the shiver over there. Yep. So, presumably fake news that Buc-ee's was selling housing kits. That, you know, Buc-ee's sells a lot of weird stuff. I would not, honestly, be that shocked if they somehow found a way to sell housing kits. But what I was, oh yeah, let me finish what I was saying about Costco. So apparently, this is something I saw, and I think it might actually be true. I'm going to have to double check, though. But Costco's, like, specifically in LA, they're aware of, like, the really ridiculous housing costs in LA. And so in addition to bringing a store into LA, they're also building affordable housing, so cheap housing, on top of their store they're building in LA to make life easier for people. And I'm just like, that's kind of ridiculous, but you know what? I can think of worse places to rent from than Costco, probably. And so for people out there watching the stream that are not Americans, welcome to America. This where we discuss these weird things. Yeah, LA does have a bad homeless problem right now. Because prices are just so high, from what I understand, that it's hard to find a place to live there that people can just afford. Like, I'm glad I don't live there. Not because I have a problem in LA, just because I couldn't afford it, I don't think. You know. Alright, I need some more lumber. I think we'll avoid the heavily infested forest over there. Go this way for a bit. I also need to do some hunting today, probably. Because food's getting a little scarce right now. But if people are curious, part of the reason I talk about like affordable housing and stuff, it's one of the things I deal with at work as a tax auditor. Because I specifically handle a lot of tax things dealing with affordable housing projects and stuff. Making sure that, you know, the companies are saying yes, it's affordable housing are actually following the rules that are required for that and all that. And therefore, getting the right tax breaks. And then when they are not following those rules, I get to tell them no, they can't have their taxes back. Which things don't seem to be made to last very long? The housing kits that you were looking up, or something else? I feel like I've missed some context there. Serious guy. Yep. Oh, good lord. Oh, we're surrounded. Got him. It snuck up on me. You know, I am really curious what determines whether or not an orc is low weight. Some of the new affordable housings that look like cheap... Oh, yeah, no. Some of them are awful. Now, some of them, like some of the ones I deal with, I don't know how they're getting off of calling this stuff affordable housing. Like, there was one that applied for a tax break, and all their paperwork was right. Like, everything. I couldn't find anything to deny this stuff over. But if you go to, like, their website, like, the rent at their houses was starting at, like, you know, $2,600 a month. I'm just like, that doesn't sound like affordable housing to me. It's like... So. Yeah, my guess is probably what's going on, if I had to guess, is that's probably what the rent is. But what they do is because I know from some people I know that have some affordable housing that they own, you basically only charge the renters so much of the price, and you charge the rest to basically government subsidized housing type stuff. Is the way they get around it, so that they can charge more rent while it's still technically affordable housing. It's some sort of like crazy workaround thing. You know, the weird things you see. Grabbing these cattails while I can here. Oh yes, there's my bear pit I was trying to make. Dude, I hope that bear's not still over here, actually. No, I'm sitting here sneaking up on where I saw said bear. How am I doing on... Yeah, I'm running out of inventory space. We're going to have to head back anyways. We'll grab these few bits of cattails here. Alright, that's all we can take. Yep, there's that bear. Yep. I knew he was still over here. Oh, no, yeah, no, like, I plan to hunt that bear. I'm just not gonna risk all my hard-earned tree right now for said bear. If I could lure him to that pit, though, that'd be an easy hunt. I already have one bear skin back at the house I should put down. Once I get my actual house done, I'll put it down. Because I killed another bear, and I was going to use the bear skin to fix my current bear armor, only to realize you don't repair the bear armor with the bear skin, annoyingly. I can make myself a brand new set. Actually, I can make myself the boots. I should do that. Oh, thank you, my love. My dearest and lovely wife just brought me a cupcake. It's all part of her plan to fatten me up for winter. Those boathorns just spawned in right there as I walked up. Woo! I just barely dodged that. You can hear them hitting the side of my house. There's like 6 of them, or 3 of them out there. Yeah, no, my wife's awesome. She takes good care of me and somehow puts up with my nonsense. Like, I don't know how she does it. I'm not sure I could put up with my nonsense. Right here? Yep, she just nods over there. I'm gonna sit here and let me get my character warming up before I dig into this cupcake. Alright. And just throw those in there. There you go. Well, nice and warm. Let's see here. I don't need that on me. I don't need this on me right now. There we go. I really don't need this pickaxe on me either right this second. Bronze prospecting pick. There we go. Alright, clear out a little bit of inventory space. Nice. Alright, where did I put my tree seeds? Tree seeds? Not there. Let's throw this large seed in here. Throw that in there. Throw that in there. There we go. That in there for now. Actually, no, I'll keep that. And then I will... Where did I put it? No, that was the right one. Put away my gears that I got. And actually, I will also go downstairs and grab my water bucket. Have I seen 13th Warrior? No, I have not. I'm familiar with it, but I have not actually watched the movie all the way through. I've caught like little snippets of it here and there, but I've never actually just sat down and watched it. I've heard it's really good. You know. Get some more clay and stuff. Nothing that I'm looking for particularly here. Alright, let's see here. But what I wanted was my bucket. Good bucket. There we go. Just put that back there. I'm just going to throw another stack of gravel in here real quick. Actually, I'll take these seeds real quick, because I can go put these seeds down in my seed storage. There we go. While we're in the neighborhood. What about you, Mysterious K? Have you seen the 13th Warrior, and what do you think about it? Did you brought it up? Yeah. These horse tail seeds there. Alright, let's see here. What's this? P, K, and P. There we go. Actually, I'll put the horse tail seeds up there. There we go. This is historical fiction loosely based off Beowulf and Amid Ibn Fadal's writings. If you like reading about Vikings, you would like it. But it's not for kids because there's some beheading scenes. I mean, I wasn't planning on letting Blaze go and watch 13th Warrior. I'm aware that it's got some violence in it. Like, you know. And just like I wouldn't let him watch Beowulf, you know. But it does sound like something I'd probably enjoy then. Because I do like historical fiction. As well as like fantasy and other genres. Like right now I'm trying to convince Blaze to like finish watching the Lord of the Rings movies. It's one of those things of like every time I'm like, come on, man, let's watch this movie. He's like, I don't like it. Like, I've sat here and watched you watch these before. And ask questions. I can tell you're interested. So why not just admit that you're interested? You know? Like, he's a weird kiddo. Alright, there we go. There's that. I was right. Just going to put this meat away. I was going to split these in half, actually. Just going to cut half of them up and put the other half away. Right, let's see here. I'll put those in here. What happened to the rest of my cattail? Okay, they're there. That's fun. Actually, I'll move these over here. There we go. Alright. And then these we're going to cut up. And it's not that they're too popular. I think it's more of if his mother or I tell him, oh, you probably like this, you know, he gets weird about it. He tends to get contrary about things for no apparent reason. It's very strange. Like, you know, I can tell him he has to like what we like. But, you know, it's also kind of his way of, like, trying to get out of things, so. Like, he says, you know, Lord of the Rings is too scary. But he'll watch movies like Saving Private Ryan. You know, and she's like, son, this is a lot worse than that. Like, he's got a strange taste in movies. The shaving scene. I don't know if Saving Private Ryan had the shaving scene in it or not. You mean are you talking about the scene where he's like trying to shave, but his hand's shaking? Or are you talking about something else? Because I think that does happen in one point. But I'm not sure. I'm not thinking about that. I don't know that. I don't think we're thinking the same movie. Because I don't think it got too bloody in the shaving scene. Because I think he was like trying to shave himself, like nicked himself and stopped and gave up on shaving. In Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan, though, is the one that has, like, the full D-Day invasion type scene for the first, like, 20, 30 minutes of the movie. You know. So, talk about something that's like, that should be scary and unpleasant to watch. Nope, that didn't bother the kid. So, alright. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you were thinking of something else. But, like, you know, Gandalf getting captured, or getting grabbed by the Balrog in the Mines of Moria. That was too much for Blazewing. Too scary for Kiddo. Alright. But we also can't get him to go watch, like, movies in person. And that's something that he's just got stuck in his head, that, like, movies in a theater are just too loud and too scary. Why is my character taking damage? Oh, I'm cold. Yep, we're gonna warm you up, bud. Yeah, we're working on it. I hear you, character. The character's complaining about the cold. Alright. That's the other reason I want a house. Are we gonna watch the Mario movie in April? Actually, I'm sure Blaze will want to watch that. We might be able to convince him to go to the theaters for that one. Maybe, because he loved the first Mario movie. We couldn't get him to go to the theaters for the Minecraft movie, though, weirdly. Like, he wanted to see it, but he didn't want to go to theaters for it. Hi, Zinner, welcome to the stream over there on Twitch. And Zinner, for your information, I am streaming to both Twitch and YouTube, so if you don't see some of the chat that I'm responding to, that's why. Yes, you can get hypothermia in this game, and it will kill you. They're mysterious gay. If this room was fully sealed in, like if I plugged in that hole, I wouldn't. But unfortunately, because I'm using the realistic smoke mod, and I don't have an actual chimney, plugging in that hole will suffocate my character. So I'm kind of caught in this weird catch-22 right now. Drifter? Come here. Come here, Drifter. I'd like to go out and get my bricks so I could make the chimney and seal in this house. There we go. Drifter eliminated. There's a Bowtorn out there. Where are you, Bowtorn? He's got my front door covered. Get him! Charge the Bowtorn! Get off my... Get off my... Get up. Pardon me. Part of that cupcake decided to attack my throat. Alright, get off my lawn, drifters. There we go. I've pushed them back. Alright. Y'all gonna give me loot after all this mess? No, of course not. All that fighting for no loot. Alright, what about... Ah, we did get some fish, though. I'll take the fish. Give me your fish. There you go. Wasn't what I came out here for, but we'll take it. Alright, there's some more fish meat. There we go. Nice. Alright, now, let's go get these bricks I needed. These bricks right here are the whole thing holding me up from actually having a chimney. Well, Drifter's coming after me. You can sit out there, Drifter. Alright, let me drop this block really quick. Nope, don't you dare do that. Yeah, you put out my fire. Bad snow. Bad. Alright. Alright, where's my mortar? There it is. Okay, so to make a chimney is really easy. You just need this shape. And this. And there we go. There's a chimney. I should be able to just put this like right here. There we go. And put like that block there. And then I can even take like this one and just throw it in like over there. And there we go. Now we're actually sealed in. And if I relight this, that should actually let the smoke escape from the realistic smoke mod, which is also what adds to the chimneys there. And so now it should actually stay warm in here. Like if we go to this, it'll tell you like my character's body temperature is 100 degrees Fahrenheit, because I'm using Fahrenheit. And while outside it might be -4, in here it will stay like a comfortable, survivable temperature. So now I won't get hypothermia in my own house. Actually, we can make some more stew. Alright, let's see here. 12 pieces of fish. And 12 vegetables. I'm going to be honest. My character is not surviving on the happiest diet in the world right now. His diet consists of basically random pieces of meat that I find, be it fish, be it, you know, an elk I kill, or a bear, or whatever, and then pieces of cattail root that I've cut up to use as vegetables. Gonna be honest, that does not sound like an ideal diet. Alright, yeah, throw a little bit of firewood in here once this finishes cooking. Then we'll get back out and start building some more. Want to see about getting the first layer of my house done. The other thing I need is I need some more fire clay. Definitely need some more fire clay. Because then I can get a bloomery built and get some glass. Because I want to make some glass windows. So if people were there watching me put the first layer on my house, or the first floor, the reason I was leaving those gaps in the walls, because I want to put in some nice glass pane windows there. Though I just realized I don't have the lead to make the lead-lined glass. That's going to be a slight problem. So I'll have to get some lead. Oh, and Mysterious K, you're asking about the hypothermia stuff. Can you cannibalize the general guy? I mean, I think there's mods for that, actually, that allow, like, cannibalism in the game. But he's not playing. This is not the community server. This is my solo playthrough. So unfortunately, no, not in this playthrough. Although we did have a terrible disaster earlier today on the community server. My neighbor, Leaf, started a fire that burned down like half the neighborhood where I built my house in the game. Specifically, he was trying to do some pottery in his pit kiln, and why is that not giving it to me? There it goes. Alright. And his pit kiln set fire to his workshop, which then set fire to the grass, which then set fire to my pig pen and killed all the pigs. Yeah, no, it was definitely insurance fraud. I'm going to have to accuse Leaf of insurance fraud. So I had to spend part of the afternoon butchering all of my pigs that had been that cruelly were taken too early from their life in my pig pen. I need the saw. Came out here to finish building this. Got the saw. Yeah, so it's just terrible. Matter of fact, if you join the Discord, you can see the pictures of the fire that started this whole mess. He posted them in the Discord. So, I can truthfully say, general efficiency has never burned down my pig pen with my pigs still inside. Leaf, though, Leaf now has. Thankfully, we did manage to save 2 of the pigs, so we still have a breeding pair of pigs, so not all is lost. I just have to now actually rebuild the pen for them. Go. Probably gonna have to come through here and fix some of this with the wrench, but that's alright. Let's see here. I'm gonna need what, about 5, 6 more. We'll start with 5 and see where that gets us. There we go. That was 6. I was off by 1. Alright. There we go. Alright. The frame of the house is finished. The bowtorn is back. Charge. Got another arrow. Alright. So there's that. Now, gonna have to get onto the roof here and work on that. Somewhere around here I've got some... What kind of leaves are these? Dry leaves. I don't have 2 sacks of dry leaves. Let's put those away. Alright. Now somewhere around here I stashed some hay bales. There we go. Hay bales. Nice. Now if I want to get fancy, I do something like, you know, clay roof shingles and do it that way, but that's expensive, and I'm not going to do that. Alright. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? I'm going to make a little bit of ladders here. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now, what is it? This shape? No. It's this shape. No, that's not what I want. Is it this shape? No. This one? No. Alright. What is it? Oh, I cannot remember the shape for this. Oh, it's 2. That's why. Sitting here going like, oh, I know that there's a roof shape. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And then I'll do some of those there. There's another one. Alright. Okay. Is that it? Nope. That was the wrong direction. Alright. I'll have to put like a block there. And now I can do my corner piece. There we go. Get my hay bale back. Come on. Up on the edge there, please. Thank you. Go. All right. Let's see here. Actually, what I'll do to make my life a little easier. That. And that way, when I get up there, I can just go ahead and get both pieces done in one go. Oh, it fell off. There we go. Alright, now I should be able to... Yep. That's what's I done. Alright. Gonna need a lot more lumber, I think. Alright, let's see here. That shiver down there is just wandering around like crazy. Alright. Now what I'll do is I'll eventually just take that chimney I built for the old house and move it into this house. And move all like the cooking into here. And I'll eventually build like a little walkway between here and there and put like a door in the back there. It's kind of a back entrance. It's kind of my thought process. There we go. Alright, it's a start on the house. Clearly not finished yet, but it's a start. I'm not going to do a super tall roof on this one, just to save some materials. And to make it a little easier. But next step is I need to go get my wrench and just fix those walls. They're going to drive me nuts if I don't fix them. Alright. Now, talking about, so you were joking about insurance fraud earlier on this community server. You know, General Efficiency over there does keep saying that he's got enough gears to run a bank in this on the server. So, you know, you might be onto something there. I might have to keep an eye on what he and Leaf are up to. Not too far. There we go. Alright. There we go. Last ones. See that one. There we go. Alright. Good. They're all facing the same direction now. The wrench is a great tool. I used to never make them. Now I always have one. There we go. Alright. Let's get some more wood sliced into boards here. That's not what I want. That's what I want. There we go. That away. I'm actually going to head downstairs really quick. And also feed my character really quick. There we go. Because I want to check on my sluice, see what all we got. Make sure I haven't lost anything. Alright. Oh, I left my door open down here. Alright, anything of interest? We got some more copper, gears. A lot of the same old, same old. But nothing too crazy. Take those upstairs with us. Take the gears up there with us. The rest of that will leave for the time being. Alright, let's see here. So I think the other thing we'll do really quick is I'm going to grab my water bucket. How much water is that using? There we go. Alright. The other thing I'm going to do is put a few of these in here. I'm going to take those with me as well. Yeah, alright. Take what we can upstairs real quick. Let that work. And then muddy gravel will generate seeds for me. Because I need seeds so I can hopefully get some flax. It's kind of the last holdup. I need to really start working on my final project of making beds and therefore being able to summon traders to build my village. And there is a mod I could get that would make my life easier in that factor, but I'm not going to do that. Basically, there's a mod that will let you just, like, buy traders. And I'm like, I could do that. I'm not going to buy traders. There we go. Let's see here. That's not what I wanted. Alright. Yeah, we'll throw my extra... Oh, no, I didn't bring any flint up here with me. Never mind. Nope. No. Somewhere around here I've got my arrowheads and stuff. There we go. Those can go in there. And I think my other arrowheads are right there. Yep, those can go in there. Beautiful. And actually, I'll throw my copper spearheads in there too. Alright, cool. And red clay can go in there. Away the copper for now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some of this stuff. Come here, orc. First off, why are you injured? Why are you still running from me? Now you noticed that I'm here. Oh, missed. Yep, you missed. There we go. One less orc. He dropped pants. Alright. Don't know that I have a use for said pants, but he dropped them. Alright. Let's put these gears away. I'm just going to offload some stuff into here for now. Just for lack of a better place to put it. Put that in there. And meat can go in here. Good news is this should actually greatly increase our spoil time of stuff. Why is this only fresh for 22 days? What's going on here? I feel like that should be fresh a lot longer than 22 days. Alright, so we have a parish timer of like 0.08 times. Or 0.01, so 10th. So it should be, 10 times slower than normal. But that's only 22 days. Like, the juniper berry's fine, 3.1 years, alright. The meat, 14 days, is pretty normal. But I expect these cattail roots to last longer than that. Alright. Guess I'm just mistaken. Maybe cattail roots don't last particularly long and chopped into vegetables. Alright. I'm going to head down here really quick. I just want to make sure, because when you're panning this muddy soil, your seeds can overflow your sluice pretty quick. Since I'm not currently set up to dump all those seeds into a chest somewhere. So on my server that I run, my community server, I actually have this huge, sluice operation that I built because I got a little crazy one day. See, yep, there you go. It's already dumping stuff out. It ran out of space. Let's grab the seashells out of here. Because I don't need the seashells, really. Alright, and I got ebony seed, some more redwoods, K-pop. No, that's Acacia. Flowers, Lily of the Valley. Oh, we finally got the flax seed. We have flax. We can actually progress the mission I've been trying to do. Alright. What's this one? And daisies. We have wild daisies now. Alright, let's see here. What can I dump over here? Nothing this second. But what we can do is we can put the rest of that in there. We'll take the ebony seed. Because I actually have a place for that. There we go. I'll put that in there. And I'm actually going to take this cabbage seed. And we're going to go put that downstairs. Alright. There we go. Alright. Cabbage is what? N. So there we go. N, K, and phosphorus. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. These are actually cold enough, we might be able to get those to grow down here. Because it's only 33 degrees down here in the middle of November. So that's not too bad. Slightly above freezing. I'm going to have to carve out more farm space, though. Alright, what do we have over here that we can take? Let's see here. We'll take that. And I'm just going to pull these out of here real quick before it runs out of more space. See, it already ran out of more space in there. Alright, let's put the muddy soil over there. There we go. Anything else I can take with me? Not right this second. Okay. Alright. But there we go. We finally have a flaxseed. We can finally start linen production. Which means I'm going to need to get some better farmland. Alright, first things first, let's go get rid of these seashells. It's because I don't need the seashells. I mean, they're good. They're a source of lime in my very poor lime biome that I've somehow settled in. Alright, there's that. How long is that? That's fresh for like 54 days. I don't know why that is. Alright. Bowthorns. Well, these seashells can just live in here for now. There we go. Oh, that's full. Never mind. Alright, in that case. Yes, I hear you, my dear grumpy, whatchamacallit, drifter that wants to come inside. So what I think we'll do, I think we'll go get some more farming area cut out. Wasn't what I'd planned on doing. But I think it's going to be the best option, with it being nighttime and that's the high rift activity outside. Alright. So, what I'm thinking here, if I'd brought my pickaxe... I'm forgetful today. Man. Can't do, like, mining and stuff without a pickaxe. Or my hammer, actually. So I need my hammer and my pickaxe. What am I doing? I don't know why. I'm just forgetting everything. But we're not going to be on too much longer, folks, unfortunately. I just checked the time. I've been streaming just under 2 hours. But we'll probably call it at around the 2-hour mark. Just because, I do have to get up early to go on a very long trip tomorrow. And I promised my wife that I'd drive, like, the first half of the trip, so... I need to be mildly functioning in the morning. Alright, there we go, there's that. And... I think the pickaxe is there? Yes, it was. I guessed right. There we go. Alright. Now we're going to go downstairs really quick, and we're going to mine out a little bit of area for farmland. Let's get it ready. Because we're going to need a big flax production. We're going to need a lot of flax. Because every trader I want to summon has to have a bed. Like an actual bed, not like one of the little hay bale beds. So you have to have, like, planks and hay bales and linen to make said bed. Now, what I'm going to do here... You know what's interesting? There's no grass down here. I mean, it is barren soil, so I guess maybe grass doesn't grow as well. Alright, so... What's my max size on this? 4x4? We'll do this here, so we'll go up. Gotta mine that out. There we go. Alright, we'll take this down. Need to put that one here. There you go. Alright, so we're going to go over here by one. Over here by one. Push back a bit. So I think we're going to end up doing like 3x4, basically. I might be able to do 3x5, actually. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 more layers back. There we go. And what we do is do this. Go back down here. Oh, right, because my plants are planted here. Welcome to the stream. Got Amelia Jack over there on Twitch. Welcome, welcome. I don't really want to pull these out. Oh, good. I get the seat back. Perfect. Okay, so I don't feel bad about that then. Alright, we'll do this. Then if I go... Oh, is it too big? So let's see here. So 4x4x4. 4, 16. 52. Right? Sounds right? Okay. Or 54. And I'm doing 3x5. Yeah, I think I might be too big. Ah, yeah, that might not work. Alright. Is this too big? I'm doing... Because what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5x5. Yeah, that's too big. So we're going to have to shrink this a little bit. Let's take one layer off here. Let's see if we can do 3x5x4. Will that work? Nope. So I have to do 3x5 3 by 5, I think, will work. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. Yep, alright, that works. There we go. The problem with not having iron splitting plugs. And there we go. And that's how you do it. Right there, splitter plugs. And knock this down real quick. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing here, I think. So we'll go up here real quick. Where's my ladder? Come here, ladder. There we go. But this is the stone quarry mod, in case people were wondering. It's a very handy mod for mining out large chunks of stone, as well as like getting yourself like lots of stone blocks if you're using them for building purposes and stuff. It's a mod that I've kind of come to love. So there we go, and we can do this. Yep, we'll go ahead and I gotta put the other ones in, I think. Yep, 3. There we go. And if I go back up here, there we go. Got all my parts back. And what's great is these stone blocks are actually stacked with each other because they're the same size. And now let me get out my torch holder real quick. Now we're just going to put it back where he was, which is right here. Get this torch. There. That way we still have light down here. Because we don't have any drifters or anything spawning down here. But alright. That'll be good. So let me go ahead and put these seeds in here. Well, actually, no, we can just replant this horsetail. Come here. Right there. And these blueberry seeds, they can just go back over here in the corner. Even though they're not going to grow. It's fine. Alright. So we'll clear all that out. And we're just going to keep pushing basically this way. Adding more farmland and stuff as we go on. This is my all the way down to the mantle of the earth, so to speak, farm. I'm doing that because it's staying above freezing most of the time in there. So for people who are curious, Vintage Story has an interesting mechanic where the closer you are to the mantle, the warmer it gets. And the higher up in the altitude, the colder it gets, based on whatever the current location's temperature is. So, if you want to make, like, the super best cellar, which is basically a cold room that you can store food in, you actually want to build that in, like, the coldest area you can find on top of a mountain, to make it as cold as possible. Now, eventually, after a certain point, it doesn't get any better than, like, a certain amount of, like, spoilage reduction. Like, you can see this one in this cellar that I'm currently using here on the Snowball Earth. This storage vessel, which is probably the best storage item in a cellar you can use, is already making things spoil at 10% the normal rate, meaning they'll last, like, 10 times longer than normal. So, you know, it's a whole thing. This is basically as good as it can get. Unless I build a fire in here, which is part of the reason I'm also working on building a house. Okay. I am running out of storage again. What I can do is we can put these stone blocks outside. Just put them out here. And we can put that one on top of that one. There we go. Nope, no bowthorn. I heard you. Yep. It's late enough in the evening. We're going to put the character to bed, so we sleep till morning. And that creature I heard outside is a bowthorn. It's a type of mechanical monstrosity, for lack of a better term, that shoots large ballista-like arrows at you. They're made of, like, bone. It's some sort of weird, horrifying creature left over from some sort of apocalyptic event that I'm not going to spoil too much for people, because this game does have a whole storyline and everything. Let's see if they're still out here. Yep, there he is. There we go. That's the Botorn right there. That thing with, like, all the spines on its back. That act as, like, the arms for its crossbow-like nature. And then these are his little buddies, the drifters. Which these were actually, theoretically, these were creatures made by humanity at some point. Based on creatures from another dimension. They're supposed to be like little mechanical helpers. I think. Oh, we got a fish. There we go. Gonna fillet this fish here. Put that away. Alright. How's my rift activity? Rift activity is low, so I might be able to get rid of these seashells now. Alright. Let's see here. Seashells. Let's grind these seashells up to make some lime, so we can make more leather. More leather! Although my big holdup on leather now is not actually lime. I actually have lime now. Big holdup on my leather is tannin. I need so much tannin. And I have no oak trees. My world for oak. Goodness. Alright, so there we go. How's this looking? Alright. Let's get rid of some of these rocks in my inventory really quick. Hey, Ricky G, or G42. What other platforms do I stream on? I'm also streaming on Twitch right now at this very moment. I'm streaming on both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. But that's it. Just those two. Nothing crazy. I'm not on, like, Kick or anything like that. Alright. There we go. Come on. Just gonna pile these rocks outside, get them out of my inventory. Alright. Cool. Gonna go reclaim these hay bales. Real quick, from where I was working on my housing project here. Get inside. Gotta clear the snow out so I can actually walk around. The snow can be a real pain sometimes when you come through a doorway. But it won't be a problem once I get the roof on this house. There we go. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Because I'm not an affiliate on Twitch yet, so I'm not, like, monetized over there. So getting a few extra followers would be fantastic. I am monetized on YouTube, which is nice. That's a fairly recent development. But it'd be nice to get monetized on both. There we go. Let's see if that's enough to finish. Yeah, we're definitely going to need more than that. Let's see here. There we go. That should be enough for this side over here. There we go. Yeah, if you need my Twitch link, let me get that for you actually in the chat. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You know, I try to make nice, like, family-friendly and enjoyable content for everybody to watch. Now, mostly because my kid also sometimes streams with me. Though, convincing him to do so can be a bit difficult. He gets distracted with other things he wants to do, you know. You know how kids are. Yeah, I know. When he is streaming on here with me, he goes by Blazewing. And sometimes my wife will even be on here with me. And we'll sometimes all three of us be on here. And that's always the best, when we can get the whole family on. But she wasn't up to it tonight, and it's fine. And this is also my solo world anyways. So, that's going to be expensive on the boards, but I'm going to do it. Alright. I think I'll put my kitchen on this side. So there we go. So let's do this. Give me 8. What about that? 14. It's not going to be enough, but it'll get us started here. So we'll do... Oop, that is not where I want you. Alright, let's try it this way. Put one of those up there. Alright, come on. Up. Up. There we go. Alright. There. Now we can get the roof tiles in where I want them. So we're going to go over here. There we go. Alright. And that's it. I've run out of roof tiles. Okay. Well, time to go get some more boards. There we go. But yeah, Ricky, you play any Vintage Story? Because I also have a Discord and community server that I run for Vintage Story. If people are interested, you just gotta join the Discord. There we go. There we go. A few more of these here. You should reach out to some channels with around the same followers and do some collabs. It's probably not a bad idea, actually. Especially if I can find some more, like Vintage Story streamers or other people's. No, you don't play. Do play a lot of Minecraft and a little Hytale. Hey, I like Hytale and Minecraft too, man. Matter of fact, I was playing some Hytale on the channel recently. I hadn't played any, like, in a bit. It's because it wasn't doing, like, super great on the channel. That and, you know, Vintage Story has been kind of my bread and butter on the channel for a lot of people. But recently I've been trying to do an Icarus survival series, because I love Icarus. One of my favorite survival games. Along with Vintage Story, obviously. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need a lot more larch. Going to need a lot more planks. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're what? 1, 2, 3. So that's 12. We need 14 more of these to finish this thing off. Alright. First things first, though, I got to go warm my character up. The character's getting cold. Yeah, we were discussing briefly on my community server about doing like a Hytale server or something. But we never really got past kind of the discussions on that. That night. And since I have to put the bill for my servers because I don't have like the hardware to host them myself, you know, I can only really kind of afford like one at a time. Alright, let's see here. Can I use these to make some planks? If I can use these to make planks, that'd save me from having to go out and cut down more trees right now. Come on, there we go. They do make planks. Not as many planks. Alright, let's see here. Where does that get me? Oh, come here. There we go. That's 8 more. 13. That is not bad. That puts me only at like 1 short. Alright. Let's get this finished off here. So I got one more thing I need to do to the roof before this thing's actually done. Oh, gotta have these on the toolbar before I can do that. There we go. Now, which one's got the ladder? It's that one. Okay, so we can go over here and here. There we go. So actually, what I could do... Well, the problem is I don't have the windows finished yet, so that's not really a fully viable option yet, but we're close. We're close. So we need two more, or well, one more set of roof tiles. And then we're going to need my chimney. And I'm going to... You know what? Actually, we'll save the sticks. I'll use the firewood. There you go. Let's light a fire, get my character warmed up here. Not gonna lie, man, when I first saw your stream, I thought it was a crazy modded Minecraft stream. Yeah, no, so that's not uncommon. Because vintage... Are you familiar at all with Vintage Story, Ricky? Like, do you know where it came from and all that? Because I have no problem telling people about it. Okay, yeah. So in that case, I'm not going to repeat the whole spiel of, like, it started off as a series of Minecraft mods, then. I'm going to repeat the whole thing. All right. But yeah, no, it does look like a heavily modded Minecraft at first glance. And that's because, you know, back in the day, it was a heavily modded Minecraft. All right. There we go. I don't really need these splitter plugs right now, so I'll put those away. I do think I'll go through and process all these seashells into lime, though. You Googled it, tried to find the mod pack. That's fair. I think the mod pack does technically still exist. I think. I could be wrong on that. That Vintage Story was originally, before it became its own thing. But I'm not sure on that, again. But I also was never one into modding Minecraft. I never played much modded Minecraft. I played a lot of vanilla Minecraft. Now, I do mod Vintage Story like crazy, though. Like, this series, I'm running something like 25, 30 mods. You know. Mostly because a Snowball Earth playthrough without mods can be, we'll just say frustrating would be the easiest way to describe it. Impossible might be another way to describe it. Or nearly impossible. Like, you can absolutely set one up. But, I want to see, that's the scary thing, is you can actually do more than that. Like, is this fairly heavily modded? For me, this is, like, ridiculously heavy modded. Like, I don't usually run this many mods, but I am this time, simply because there's so many little things that I'm trying to sort of do here that I just needed mods to fill in the gaps. Like, so, alright, to bring people up to speed, kind of my goal here is, I'm doing a Snowball Earth playthrough, so basically, the best temperatures you get in the middle of summer is like, I think 40 degrees in Fahrenheit, for people who speak Fahrenheit. It's about like 10, 15 degrees in Celsius, if I remember correctly. And that's in the middle and like height of summer in this world. My goal is to build a village and then populate said village with traders. Now, you can't normally do that in vanilla. There's no way to do that in vanilla. You can build a village, absolutely, but you can't like populate it with people in vanilla. So I had to add a mod for that. And then I added some general quality of life mods, like these wooden torch holders I'm using here to hold torches. And it's just a mod I really like, made by the same developer who makes the same mod that I'm using to populate the traders into the world. Then I used a couple, like, tree and plant mods, specifically for some more Arctic-friendly type trees and plants. And animals as well. So, like, normally penguins aren't a thing. I have penguins in this. You know, that kind of stuff. And then I wanted a bit more monster variety, so I added, like, the Fantasy Creatures mod. So, like, you know, you'll see, like, orcs and goblins, but normally it would just be, like, the drifters and the bowtorn and stuff. So that's kind of what I ended up doing. That's why I have so many mods in this particular playthrough. And I also did a couple like Arctic survival mods. Like normally in this cold weather you wouldn't find cattails. They just wouldn't exist. They wouldn't spawn. So I have a mod that modifies the spawn conditions for cattails to make them so they do spawn. And I have primitive survival, just to add things like these fishing lines and the ability to smoke meat and stuff. So a lot of it's just quality of life / survival things. Some of which is actually coming to vanilla vintage story in the next major update, like the fishing. Fishing's coming to vanilla vintage story in the next major update, and you can even go play with it some on their pre-release version on their website, which I have. I haven't done a video on it yet, but I need to. You know, so just little things like that. But I think we're going to have to call this stream there. We didn't quite finish the house, but it's pretty close, and I should not stand over my chimney so I don't suffocate myself with the smoke. But there we go. Start of our house. So I think I'm going to take a screenshot of that just because I want a screenshot of my house. There we go. Next major step, I think, for the house, besides finishing the roof. Don't mind me asking what's your PC specs. So, let me see here. Let me just pause this real quick and I'll go check. Because I don't remember them off the top of my head. Like, I know I'm running a 4060 video card. There you go. I can remember that part. And then, let's see here. Specs. What am I doing? System. Here we go. System. Alright, here we go. So, PC specs, since you were asking there, Ricky. I am running a Ryzen 9 790X 12 core. I'm running 32 gigs of RAM. And my video card, it's not shown on this particular list, but I know that's like a 4060 as, so, you know, there we go. Let's see if I can't get the exact model here for you. Let's see here. Where did I find that? And just as an FYI, I do not like Windows 11 because they moved all that stuff around on me. Advanced system settings. Hardware. Device manager. Here we go. Alright, display adapters. Ah, sorry. It's a 4070 RTX. My mistake. It's not a 4060. It's a 4070. There we go. I was slightly mistaken. But, I mean, as far as I'm aware, there's not like a huge difference between the 4060 and the 4070. I'm specifically running the GeForce 4070 RTX Super. There you go. Alright. But there we go. So those are the specs I'm using, since you were asking. Alright. But we are going to call this stream there, because unfortunately, for those of you who are just joining my stream, and I want to thank you all for joining my stream, by the way, I have to get up early in the morning because I got to make a long, like, 8-hour trip. So I got to leave the house at, like, 4:30 to 5 a.m., somewhere in that range, to go on a little family trip far away from my home to go deal with some stuff. And I do need to be mildly functional for that, since I'll be doing a lot of the driving. So I want to thank you all for joining me this evening, and I hope to catch you all in the next one. And if you are interested in joining my Discord community, on my YouTube, I do have a link that will join you to my Discord. It's free access for those who are interested. But anyways, I will catch you all in the next one. I hope you all have a wonderful time. And thank you all for joining me so much. All right, we're going to stop that.